the season when people of all faiths and cultures are pushing back against the planetary darkness. We string bulbs, ignite bonfires, and light candles, and we sing. Good morning, everyone. It's an honor, as always, to be here with you. And if you're new around here, hi, my name is Poppy, and I'm leading our worship for today. I would like to first of all extend a very, very warm welcome to you all on this very cold, wet December morning, whether you're joining us here in church and I can see you all snuggled up, or if you're on Zoom, hopefully in the comfort of a warm home today. I'd also like to remind you, each and every one of you, that you are an essential part of our worship today, just as you are, however you've come today. I would like to begin today's service with our Unitarian custom of lighting our chalice. For safety, I will remove the mittens. The chalice and its flame are a symbol of our free religious faith, and I invite you to light a candle at home if you wish, if you're able to do so. We meet for worship in a world of wonder and plenty, but a world long shadowed by the folly and wickedness of our own kind. May our worship and our prayer not forget the shadow, but by the power of the Spirit, rise above it to bring peace, hope, and light to our lives and to the world. Words by Unitarian Cliff Reed. The opening quote from this morning was by Jewish American writer Anita Diamant, and I chose it to be recently thinking about how the importance of light seemed to feature a lot in the December-based festivals and religious spiritual stories. I'm just going to highlight a few of them now in case you're not familiar. So on Thursday the 8th, Buddhists around the world celebrated Bodhi Day, and this is the day when the Buddha gained enlightenment. So many Buddhists would have lit candles in their homes to represent enlightenment and decorated homes and temples with lights. In the northern hemisphere, midwinter arrives next Wednesday on the 21st with the pagan festival of Yule and the winter solstice, which is the shortest day or longest night, depending how you see it. Midwinter reminds us of the incredible cycle of nature and rebirth as the sun, our very own source of light, starts to return. Many people still welcome back the sun with a fire or a Yule log burning ritual. Now, this is not the chocolate sponge variety that I'm sure we're all familiar with, but a large log, traditionally from the evergreen conifer. The 8-day Jewish celebration of Chanuka, known as the Festival of Lights, starts today, and that commemorates the rededication of the temple in Jerusalem, as well as the miracle which saw the temple's lamp lit for 8 days on 1 day's worth of oil. Then, of course, December 25th, Christmas Day, the time many Christians celebrate the virgin birth of Jesus, a birth wise men were led to by the light of a star. So hopefully, similar to me, you'll see that this time of year really is a celebration of light and miracles. Let us now sing of this season with our first hymn. It's hymn number 1 in the Purple Book. It's not hymn number 1, it's our hymn number 1, apologies. In the Purple Book, it's number 94, and it's Let Us Welcome Chanuka. The words will appear on the screen, or you can help yourself to a hymn book.
To
Thank you. Hopefully that warmed you up a bit. As I mentioned earlier, the chalice and its flame are symbols of our free religious faith. It is a beacon of light, bringing people who value truth, love, and free thought together. It brings us together whether we are here in church in Plymouth or online in another county or another country, potentially. Unitarians and Universalists all around the world will be lighting candles and chalices today. No matter what season, light is one of the most fundamentally positively regarded universal and spiritual symbols. Darkness, however, gets a bit of a bad rap, but it really shouldn't. The light needs the darkness. Without the light, there is no dark. And so without the darkness, there would be no light. I'd now like to invite Kate up to share Stephanie Noble's poem, Winter Solstice 2, where Stephanie considers the gift of midwinter. Stephanie Noble is a Buddhist teacher as well as a published poet.
Dear darkness, what am I to do with you? Burrow under the eiderdown, close my eyes and dream. How sweet, how soft, how succulent. And yet, I toss off the covers, wishing on a bright star to share this vast indigo expanse, to gather in festivity, to hear oft-told tales from long-loved lips, to mingle merrily. Some nights, yes, I settle a bear in my winter cave, but other evenings, like a dormant rose, I tend my roots, so they may deepen and hold me true for flowering. Here candles cast a mellow glow, melting the dark beyond. We, the long intertwined vines of family born and family made, twinkle the night with laughter as we sip and sup and sing.
Thanks, Kate. So the spiritual holidays of Bodhi Day, Yule, Hanukkah, and Christmas, as I've said, all have miracles and light at the heart of them. And I feel the retelling and honouring of them at this time of year helps sustain, heal, and inspire us spiritually. Today, I would like to invite you all to join me in recognising and honouring another spiritual wonder, the miracle of you and the divine light within you. Unitarians are a part of a tradition which recognises the importance of personal religious experience, a tradition which recognises that our spirituality is a living flame, something to be lit and relit by every person. As our name suggests, there is a focus on unity, whereby historically God or the divine is seen within ourselves and nature. We may not literally believe in the miracles retold at this time of year, but the majority of us certainly recognise the timeless truths expressed by the stories. Many of us may suspend our disbelief to enter into the festive spirit. For example, we may see the story of the Nativity as a message of divine love for a world that needs it, and the birth of Jesus as a symbol of the divinity inherent in every human being. The stories and the natural cycle of the seasons remind us of the miracle of our life. This life where we live on a floating planet which circles around a ball of fire alongside a natural satellite mass that causes tides. I would now like us to sing about this miraculous life with our second hymn, and hopefully we'll warm up again. The second hymn this time is in 148 in the Green Book, and it's called The Miracle. We now come to a time of prayer. God of many names and none, let us recognize the light within and around us. May we see you in the shadows and dark as well as the brightness. Let us notice the holy in the quiet places between our breaths. May we find you in the noise and joy of celebration, in the cries of sadness, and in the stillness of a moment. This holiday season, let us take time to be with ourselves and others, not with expectations of gifts, but in a way that connects and soothes our spiritual selves. May we have patience as the calendar races towards the year's end, and compassion for those around us, knowing the stress that the season can bring. In moments where we are tired, scared, or angry, help us to remember by simply returning to our breath. By focusing on our breath, we reconnect with our inner light, and we are reunited with the sacred dwelling in each of us. So may it be. Today's address focuses on seasonal self-care and will be sandwiched between a hymn to keep us moving. December is one of the busiest times of year for many of us, making it very easy for our light to fade. I believe that self-care is part of the essential fuel that keeps our light shining brightly. We will spend time nourishing our spiritual self here today, whilst reflecting on how we can continue to give our spiritual selves the gift of self-care this December. Winter naturally sees our world go into hibernation mode. For many animals, it is a treasured retreat where they slow down to save energy during the cold, dark months. Plants and flowers return to the earth to be born again in the spring, and it's natural for us as part of nature to want to do this as well. We naturally rest during the dark hours of the day, and during the darker months, our bodies, mind, and spirit are called to slow down. There is great beauty in stillness and darkness. Taking time to be still during the darker mornings and nights helps define the light around us and within us. Over the next few weeks, I urge you to take some time to slow down, to reflect and connect to something bigger than yourself. This may be the universe, nature, God, goddesses, or whatever you have of your understanding of the divine. The time you devote to it doesn't have to be long. It can just be a few minutes. It can be an hour. But the key is to take the time for yourself. To make this connection, you may decide to attend a religious service. You may pray, meditate, paint, walk in nature, decorate your home for the festive season. There are so many possibilities. Perhaps you already have something that you like to do at this time of year, which really achieves this. I'll just share a couple of mine, and I'd urge you to keep in mind one of your own for later. So going to carol services is a big one for me. Since last Sunday, I've been to 2, and I've actually got 2 others lined up for later on today. Singing carols really lifts my mood in a way I cannot put into words, and my light is set to beaming after a good sing-song. I also find the sense of the season really good to help stay mindful. So simply smelling the cinnamon before I put it on my porridge in the morning, or using a frankincense wax melt. Obvious reasons, a popular choice at this time of year, but did you know it's actually noted for feelings of relaxation and peace? You may have found your own spiritual lifts came to mind for this time of year, and as I said, keep them close as there's be time to share them later on. So another way you can show spiritual self-care is spending quality time with those whom you care about. This can be friends, family, significant others, colleagues, animals, nature. Walks and food with loved ones really features heavily in my spiritual self-care in the holiday season. You may not have time to see everyone you'd like to during December, but you can make plans perhaps to arrange to meet them in the January and February after the busy festive period. It might even be that for yourself, for your spiritual care, the key is actually spending quality time with yourself and embracing solitude. Like Stephanie Noble's poem, you may be like a bear and settle in your cave. If you're happier spending time alone, reading or watching Christmas specials, then embrace it and enjoy. I encourage you to be where the love is. Self-care is not selfish, and it is showing yourself love and compassion, which is essential. Another powerful way to refresh your spiritual light is appreciation through gratitude and giving back. Now, I understand this may not be so straightforward for some of us. For all of us, good and bad things will have happened this year, and they, as part of life, will continue to happen during the holiday period. For this reason, you may not be in a jolly festive mood, or you may not like the dark and the cold, and are currently struggling with something which has drained all of your energy and light. By all means, I say recognize how you are, but I urge you to try to do this if it's available to you, to reach out. In appreciating what we have and by sharing with others, we can brighten our spirit and pass on the fuel to light other people's lamps. And this isn't just me saying it and being all pink and fluffy. Self-care and helping others has been scientifically proven through various studies to improve health and happiness. By sharing our light with others, we can banish feelings of loneliness and isolation. So if you know someone who is struggling at the moment, perhaps take some time to drop them a message. All of us can show appreciation and be grateful and give back in a way that suits us and our circumstances. It doesn't have to be costly, whether in time, energy, or money, but it can really make a difference. An encouraging word, a smile, or compliment costs nothing, but it can bring and spread so much joy. Being present with someone who is experiencing difficulty can mean much more than any material present you could give them. You can donate time, money, or things to a local charity and cause you care deeply about, or perhaps even a person. This includes you. Treat yourself. Perhaps indulge in that festive, overpriced beverage when in town next if you want it, or get a new collection of poems from the library or the bookshop. Let us put into practice this right now by coming together and sharing as a community. I've brought with me the gift of light, well, potential gift of light, in the form of tea lights. So these are ecological as much as they can be. They're soy-based. Casing is recyclable, so you can recycle that. And I'd like each of you to help yourselves, if you'd like to take one home, to use over the holidays as you wish, or pass it on to someone else to have the gift of light this holiday season. I'd like to say to you online, I'm sorry, but I'm unable to pass these through the ether, but I do have links in a second I will share on the chat for virtual candles for internet linked devices. And I would say to everybody that, you know, there's videos online or there's apps. If you ever want to have a candle with something to focus on, some people find that quite relaxing. And they're good, I thought, if you don't want to have a candle, a lit flame, children and pets and so on, or Christmas trees. So in the opening quote, Anita Diamond said, "We hang lights, light fires and candles and sing." Whereas Stephanie Noble in the poem talks of sharing stories, enjoying laughter in the company of friends. So now I ask, how about you? What is it this time of year that nurtures your spirit? Those of you joining us online, I invite you to share any ideas you have in the chat for practicing appreciation through gratitude, giving back, and your spiritual connection go-tos for December. And if you're in church, I invite you now to come up to the lectern and share any examples you have for giving back or for practicing appreciation and spiritual go-tos for the season. If you think that sharing may inspire someone to try it for themselves, so therefore you're doing it good for others as well. Don't be shy. I will now read a short piece on candles at Christmas by theologian and civil rights leader Howard Thurman from The Mood of Christmas and Other Celebrations. I will light candles this Christmas. Candles of joy despite all the sadness. Candles of hope where despair keeps watch. Candles of courage for fears ever present. Candles of peace for tempest-tossed days. candles of grave to ease heavy burdens, candles of love to inspire all my living, candles that burn all year long. As I mentioned earlier, our self-care regime needs periods of slowing down to reconnect. And I would now like to share with you a guided meditation which provides us with an opportunity to do that right now together. This meditation is adapted from Alison Davies' book, The Self-Care Year, and is called Put Yourself in a Snowy Wonderland. So before we begin, let's all get comfy. You might like to have a stretch before settling into position. However you like, feet on floor, feet up on the chair, on the couch if you're at home, whatever, you do you. Okay. If you can draw your attention to your body, feel where you connect to the ground, however you are sat. Feel the contact you have with the earth. Now, focus on your breathing. Take a long, slow breath in through your nose, then exhale slowly and fully through your mouth. If we repeat this 3 times. If you wish, you can close your eyes and keep breathing at a relaxed pace. Long, slow breaths. Focus on the air coming in and being exhaled out. Now picture a landscape in your mind. It can be whatever you choose it to be, so hills, valleys, a meadow, or even a cityscape. Now within that landscape, start to imagine that it's snowing. It's just starting to snow. The snow is gentle, with tiny brittle flakes, and they're softly covering everything. You notice how the landscape starts to change with the snow. The snow starts to fall heavier now, and this snow has more substance. The flakes are thicker and larger, and they actually settle. As you continue to watch, your landscape transforms as the snow falls. Eventually, your scene is covered in a thick blanket of snow. The sky is white, and everywhere you look, you see dazzling brilliance. Breathe in the space. Breathe in the white, the light, the brightness. The scene makes you feel very relaxed. You feel healed and a sense of peace. Gently bring your attention back to your breathing. Notice as your breath comes in, maybe through your nose, and it's exhaled fully through your mouth. When you feel ready, if you have your eyes closed, feel free to open them and breathe naturally. Hopefully you found something of value, whether from your breath or the visualization. You may like to return to this whenever you need to clear your mind, reconnect, or ground yourself this winter. Instead of a snowy wonderland, you could focus on a flame, a real one perhaps, if you have one to hand, one in your mind, or a digital one. Rather than a landscape being transformed by snow, you could imagine the light filling you. Within then you get sensations of warmth, joy, and peace. We will now have a short period of silence for personal reflection. The silence will be followed by some music of about 1.5 minutes in length. And this piece of music came to mind after I read the Snowy Wonderland meditation. Before we go into reflection, though, I'd just like to say a short blessing. Spirit of life, Encourage us to love ourselves and celebrate in the divine miracles of Christmas, Hanukkah, and Yule. May the blessing of peace rest upon us and all troubled hearts at this time. May gratitude and appreciation fill us and bring joy to those we hold dear. May we have a sanctuary, a place to slow down, recharge, and reconnect. For now and into the new year, blessed be. We're coming to the end of our time together in worship. I'd like to thank you all for taking some time for spiritual self-care today, and I hope you have enjoyed listening, singing, and sharing, as well as being in one another's company. No matter how busy you get over the next few weeks, or what or who you believe in, please take some time to show the miracle of you and the festivals of the season some love. I have a heart to hang on our tree to remind us of this over the coming days, weeks, and years. Be your best friend. Hibernate. Reconnect with others and in the universe in a way that nourishes your spirit and fuels your divine light, so that you and those you come into contact with continue to shine. I wish all of you a merry and bright holiday season,